Hey, Brennan.
Hey, Corbin.
I like how we said we were trying to release these on Thursday, and here we're recording on Thursday. So.
Oh, it is Thursday.
My bad, y'all. we're busy with life, all right? All right. Welcome to the 4th episode of the podcast. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope you're having a good day. Brennan Montry, my middle brother, is joining me again. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
I like to keep you in check, you know.
If you don't know by now here, we obviously review music. We go project by project. Some projects we go song by song. And today our lineup is Torae, and then we're going to do Family Business, and then Diop. These are the albums we're reviewing. And then we're going to do a bunch of singles. We'll get into those later. All right. Brennan.
You want me to hit you with those stats, boy?
Torae. Tell me how you feeling. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me give his introduction. All right. Torae, all praises due. If you're a fan of hip-hop, I hope you've heard of Torae, Brennan. I know you haven't.
I have not.
Dude's a legend, in my opinion. He's very lyrical. I absolutely loved his album, For the Record. Check that out if you haven't. I have that in my rotation quite frequently. But anyways, this is Torae's newest project, All Praises Due, a collab effort between Torae and producer Praise. Brennan.
I want to say that I probably have heard him before, but I didn't know who he was. But now I definitely know who he is, and I definitely will be checking out more of his work in the future.
You better. So hit me up. What's your thoughts? What'd you think about this?
All right, so like you said, this is Torae's album with producer Praise, titled All Praises Due. It came out October 11th. It is a 22-minute album.
Oh, wow. It really is that short.
8 tracks in total with 1 intro. I really enjoyed this one, and we'll get into it why in a minute. But first off, All Praises Due, the title of the album, is the first track. It's the intro. And I don't really give ratings to intros, so...
Yeah, I didn't give a rating either. To me, I just said it's just an intro. So it's kind of cool and soothing production. But it's literally just a 32-second intro opening up the album. So, I mean, it was cool. It was all right. I think they said the titles of each track in there. I'm not sure. But
main takeaway I got out of it was watch who you take cues from and habits die hard. It was interesting.
All right.
But
with that, we have track number 2, Start Godly. And this one has some knocking production, a choir presence that is very welcomed on this track, kind of ties the lyrics together. The rhyming patterns on here are crazy. Torae really reminding people he's a contender as an MC. This track is a straight verse, really playing with words and verbiage, and ends with glorious singing vocals. The choir presence shines through at that moment as well. There's tons of bars on here, but a very memorable line was, dominate the drama, that's what the greatest do. No one ever fronts on the God, that's what pagans do. Then we get a little skit discussing how Torae prefers to be in the studio with his collaborator, which I thought was pretty cool. Some cool insight, really solid opener in my opinion, and this one lands at an 8 out of 10 for me.
yeah, I'm right there with you with a rating of 8 out of 10. It starts off as a boom bap intro, similar to the Ghostface album that we reviewed last week. If you guys haven't listened to that, go listen to that. Great lyrics, great flow. Usually when artists say something that's kind of perverted, it takes me out of it, but he had a line about queefing and it made me laugh super hard. And I gotta give him credit to that because it kind of caught me super off guard, but it didn't take me out of the song at all. It just made me laugh.
The queefing line?
Yeah.
Yeah, that line was funny.
I like the choir transition, and I enjoy this song and would definitely listen to it more. I gave it the 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that was a solid opener. I was just like, I had it playing in my car, dude. I was just bumping. I was just like, yeah, this is what I love. All right, track 3. Take notes, right? Is it take notes? I have tail notes. I misspelled. My bad. Take notes. Right off the bat, the pounding bass hits you in the face. This is a very layered track with multiple samples, and I love the horns hidden in the mix. Very triumphant sounding track, and I love the Dead Wrong Biggie sample. The relax and take notes while I take tokes. I really dug how Torae flows over the entire track and makes a very unique play to the chorus. The pad and the pencil, I float till they call me the GOAT. Yeah, I really dug this one. 8 out of 10 again.
Yeah, more boom bap, which no complaints from me because I dig that type of style. Straight bars, and he killed this one, I felt.
Oh, yeah.
The chorus was kind of repetitive, but I only noticed that because I was looking for that. If you're just listening to the song, it's not very noticeable. But when you're reviewing it, it's going to come up and you're going to notice it. So, no complaints there. It was only noticeable if you're looking for it in the end. Love the transition to the next song, and I also gave this one an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. The next song is titled That's My Word, and to play off what Brennan said, I said that there was such a fluid transition from song to song. Like, I didn't even realize that it was on another song until I noticed, like, a difference. Subtle differences. I love when the tracks purposely float from one to the other. This one is just a reworking of the sample with a very nice drum beat on this one. Especially the bass lines. I love the cold line, how I sound in the ballroom, I sound on the curb. The all praises due was dope to hear on the record scratch chorus. The lyrics were crazy on this 3-verse song. And Brennan, how about that beat switch that added sounds to the 3rd verse, man? That was nice. Dude kills the rhymes on here. And I gave this one an 8 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, I thought there was a great reference to The Purge in this one. I get a heavy Scarface vibe from this one, especially from the song Fuck Hip Hop, which I love that song.
Yeah, I love that song with Nas.
Yep, Nas, Scarface, DJ Khaled. Love how it kind of felt like that. He has a line that says, "May never hand me a Grammy, so hand me my ends." I dug that, especially if you listen to the full verse. Ties in nicely. It was fire. It was aggressive. And I enjoyed this one a lot. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So we're pretty matched on this one.
I'm sure that will change.
Really?
Not for this album, but for the rest.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm sure at least there's going to be some differences. All right. Track 5, Cues. I loved the sample on this one. A back and forth play with the stereo sound on here, and it really built the beat nicely. There's another choir presence on here, sounded nice. Boom bap etiquette. This is a indie rapper praise cut, especially on that 2nd verse. There's ASCAP and copyright talk, really lacing the independent game with some wisdom you should pay attention to, really. I love the line, overlooked yet underpaid, putting in overtime but they still gonna underrate, hope you can't relate. I love this one. This one is a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, you basically just covered what I covered. Basically talked about the life on the road. Literally says that he's fake famous. So that was kind of cool for acknowledgement. And then I also have the line, overlooked yet underpaid, as one of the lines I dug from the song. Until I dug the song, but the cue thing was more noticeable in repetitivity. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. Still not bad.
No, this one was short too, so that was...
It was super short, which is why I only...
Which makes the repetitive nature kind of stand out. Personally, I didn't really mind that part, but cool. All right, Bram. Got It Hemmed. Yet another fluid transition from song to song. Production-wise, this is my favorite song by far. I recognize the underlining sample in the mix and put the aching inquiry to what it is to bed and found it's from the OJ's She's Only a Woman. Also, the song features a sample from Nas's song Halftime. And at the end, we get that shine through of the sample with gorgeous piano play and strings coming in with the signature record scratches that solidifies the hip hop nature of this record. And it was absolutely beautiful production. Now, the words are just perfect on this. I mean, I do what I want because I'm signed to me, found myself, took a finder's fee. Like, come on. That's straight fiery bars. And this is just my favorite song by far on here, and that's 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. This is a pretty great song. I love the piano in it. This dude's actually great. I really enjoyed his content overall in this album. I love his lyrics and the beat. It's basically like new school meets old school for me. And this dude he's a real guy. Like, what he speaks is how he feels in that sense. Especially when he says, you know it's like that raw when I write that.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying that he's just telling you guys like how it is. Which I dug. Love the piano, and then they added the violin. That was noise.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Noise.
You know, you throw some strings and horns in there, man, you got my full attention.
Nice transition. I gave this one a 9 out of 10.
Cool. All right. Track 7, Reaction. There's a more so slow drum beat that I was digging, some really nice boom bap, a little repetitive with the instrumental here, but, you know, it's for a reason. Torae flowed over it nicely either way, but the reason being on here we get a fun story. Some straight gangster shit, at least that's what it seems, but the twist of the story is definitely worth a listen. Torae really pulls you in on this one. Love the ending, 7 out of 10.
I gave this one a 7 out of 10. The story was great in that.
I really liked it. I was kind of like, okay, this is not the traditional what you think is going to happen type deal, and I really appreciated that. Yeah, but I mean, we gave it the same score, so we both liked it. Track 8. In the final track, Die Hard. More boom bap production that I loved. The way these instrumentals are layered gives them way more character than what they may seem to have. Here we get another long verse with a refrain. I absolutely dug it. More bars on top of bars. A great way to end the album. 7.5 out of 10.
All right. This song starts hard, and it's titled Die Hard. So, I like the shot at mumble rappers. That was a nice touch. I like,
always welcomed.
I like the lyrics. I like the beat. He talks about killing the game because he is like from the hood and he has experience in doing so. Thought that was clever. I like the Bruce Willis reference to Die Hard. Ties into the title of the song. But man, did this song piss me off with the ending when it just faded out and I was still listening to it and I wanted to hear the freestyle. And it pissed me off.
Yeah, that dude was still going in.
It was still going in and it faded out. I gave this one an 8 out of 10. Would have got a 9.5 out of 10 if it didn't do that.
All right, Brennan, overall, give me your opinion first.
Overall, this album is a banger. You like old school, if you like Scarface, if you like some hood shit, you'll like this album in a whole. This dude spits straight bars, and he tells stories to the audience of his life, which is always nice to get from the perspective of the artist. The transitions were constant throughout the album, so you didn't know when one song ended and one song started. Very clever the way he did that. I love this album, and didn't know that this guy... I didn't know who this guy was before, but now that I know who he is, I know what he can do. I'm definitely going to check out his previous work.
I want you to check out his album For the Record. That is definitely one of my favorite albums, not just by him, but like in that era of when I think it came out in 2011, and that album is fantastic. Also, if I'm not mistaken, it tells a story throughout it, so like that's also a bonus. But that one's fantastic, so go listen to that one first.
Copy that. I give this one a well-deserved 9 out of 10. And would have got a 10 out of 10, but I definitely felt like I wanted more and just didn't get it. Too short.
Yeah, 22 minutes is pretty short. Not many songs going past the 3-minute mark, but yeah. My overall opinion, you get what you want to get here. Straight bars over great production. I love Torae, and he has yet to disappoint me. If you love great hip-hop, give this one a listen. It's short-lived, but a great experience, and I'm at the same with Brennan, 9 out of 10. Awesome record. All right, so this one's even way more shorter-lived, and we're talking about the new EP, Family Bvsiness. Family Bvsiness.
It's family business.
Family
Just call it what
Business
it is.
grand opening. If you didn't get the joke, the U is replaced with a V there. Okay. Family Business is a collaborative rap supergroup featuring King Crooked as frontman and the Horseshoe Gang. Some top-tier lyricists. This is not their first project, though, but this one only contains 5 songs. Super short. Now, this EP is just to hold us over until the next EP that's dropping on Halloween titled LLC, which me and Brennan will definitely be covering.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let me give you guys the stats real quick. All right, so this is Family Business. Like Corbin already said, the title of this album is Grand Opening. It came out on October 12th, and surprisingly, it is right up there with Torae's album with 22 minutes long, but it is only 5 songs short. So, you want to jump into Dear Music, track number 1?
Yeah. All right, track number 1, like Brennan said, Dear Music. Some soft piano laced with a sample builds a great opening. Every person on here spits a very fantastic verse that's basically honoring music and the ability to take them out of a horrible situation. Every verse is great, but I really love the second artist to go. I'm sorry I couldn't find the actual members' names. If you know them, please let me know. I did look all over the place for them, though. So the second artist, I love the lines especially. Mama chose feeding her children over reaching her dreams, so I think we should fulfill them. And the lines, dreams are elusive. If you don't pursue them, they speed past you. This was a great opening. It makes me excited for what's next by these guys, especially on this record. And this one's at an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, so basically what I did is I listened to this song multiple times to try to figure out and decipher the different type of people because they say their names. It's not their actual names, but I don't believe it's their actual names. But they introduce themselves before they start spitting bars.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
I get a classic rap vibe from this. I like the shout out to Biggie, and then I come to find out that they're shouting out multiple things in the rap game, which was cool and nice to hear. They basically, what they're talking about is how they joined the rap game to get out of the hood. The lyrics are clever. The beat is nice with the piano. Like Corbin said, I like the line, dreams are elusive. You don't pursue them, they speed past you. That was a great line from the guy who titles himself as Julius.
Also, a bunch of syllable rhyming, which is something I love too. So
yeah, and I definitely felt like all these guys got bars. I can relate to the portion where they said that they were basically eating shit food just to get by.
Yeah,
you know, times are tough. Could have like a connection there. Not a big fan of Kenny's verse. It was kind of weird to start off with, but overall it became alright. Just wasn't really feeling his.
I know exactly which one you're talking about without even knowing who he is.
The sex addict one.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't really feeling his. He's good in the other songs, but in this one, it was weird. Like, compared to the other guys, definitely was like a downgrade. I feel this resembles more to Corbin, based on the song and what they talk about, titled Dear Music, and basically how they're thanking music for getting them to where they are now. So I felt like this would relate more to you, but I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Hey, I mean, you still liked it about the same as me. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciated it. I could relate, especially to some of the struggles inside of music is what they were saying too. But yeah, moving on to track number 2, Welcome to California. Some soothing piano keys with a driving beat attached to a booming bass line. I thought the mastering was a little weird on this one though. The vocals sit a little below the beat, but the mix sounded good. I thought some of the artists sounded great and others weren't great. I'm kind of in on this one, to be honest. King Crooked killed it though, like per usual. But I'm gonna assume this guy's name's Kenny. The welcome and welcome lines, they didn't need to be repeated over and over again, like at all. And I'm at a 4 out of 10 on this one.
Damn, dude. 4 out of 10?
I just wasn't feeling this one. Maybe it would have been different if I was from California, but like I live, in Michigan.
Ding, ding,
so.
ding, ding. We have a winner because that's exactly what I have down here. I said I like the tripping if you think that we aren't all armed line. That was clever. I like the side-to-side effect in the headphones where it goes from left side, right side.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Really like that effect. Not a huge fan of this song, though, because I'm not from Cali, so most of the stuff that they talk about, I can't relate because I'm from the complete opposite side of the United States. So a lot of the references went right over my head. And basically, since that was what this song was all about, I didn't get most of it. So I gave it a 5 out of 10 on the sole purpose that I don't understand basically what they were talking about for a majority of this song because I'm not from there. So
fair enough.
However, if I was from Cali, I'd probably give this one a way higher rating.
Yeah, I don't know. There was definitely a vocal disturbance in there. Like they were just sitting below the beat, which is I'm not a fan of. It was hard to hear everything they were saying, in my opinion. Also, some of the other artists I just wasn't feeling on this one. So,
King Crooked though.
Yeah, King Crooked, he kills it every time. But
every time.
Track 3, Goat Stew. So for this song, the production is fantastic. Sample pianos and harp line sounds do build a great beat. The frequent beat drops and beat adds are great. The lyrics were damn good on this one too, just straight bars. They definitely caught my attention and held it through this entire 6-minute song. 8 out of 10.
Definitely like the beat and the Poison lyric line from Crooked. It gets aggressive, and shout out to the Michigan State Spartans as their names were dropped in this song. I think they spit bars, but nothing really impressed me like the first song did. So, also, it really confused me when they started speaking about the apps. I know he made a reference to weed and Instagram, and he said Gram is not an app for the Netflix, and that just confused the shit out of me. I don't know what the hell that means. Two totally separate things, not even close. The song was long, and I kind of wanted it to end. The last guy's verse was the best, and I didn't care for the gonorrhea line. I thought that was kind of weak. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Still above average. Alright, track 4, My Lady. I love the low modulated vocals on the beginning of this one. The slow build of the instrumental fits the topic pretty well. The bass kicks hard and I loved it. The beat is really great here. And the chorus was slow and dragged out and fit it well. Basic concept based off the title, but man, these dudes killed this damn beat. The flow was insane all over this one and I loved it. It was pretty catchy. 7 out of 10.
You liked the beginning. I thought it sounded like mumble rap at the beginning. Big change once that part got over. I like the song. She a hustler, but she ain't in the kitchen. I thought that was a pretty good line. Got a chuckle out of me, yeah. And around the 3 minute and 6 second mark, that was just a great verse, and I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely recommend listening to this one. 8 out of 10.
All right, track number 5, Woke Shit. How about that title, though? The beat build is great over the reverse piano samples. These artists are really great at rapping. The whole point. The flows are fantastic on the song. Everybody switches the flow up a bit and had me like, damn, the entire verse. I loved how King Crooked touched on that fucking idiotic Kanye interview where he stupidly calls slavery a choice. Definitely talking about woke shit on this one. Dope ending to the EP, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this song. I say surprisingly because they say the title of the song numerous times throughout this one. But it didn't bother me for this. Shout out to Michigan, started off. It was a head bobber. Lyrics, like the first song, which I really enjoyed and dug. Made me laugh a couple times with references and such, like Not Waking Up, like Lil Dicky, which is a shout out to him and Chris Brown's song. I like the beat. Don't have any complaints about that, but I definitely enjoyed the shots fired at Kanye. Especially his WTF like tone of voice when he was mentioning it. You could just hear it in his voice. That made me laugh pretty hard. Yeah, it was just great overall. Great song. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
As well. All right. Overall, I definitely dug this album. It was a fun listen. It's 5 very competent lyricists killing beat after beat. It kind of sucks that this is a very short listen, though, but it has me excited for what's next, and not a single person was lacking either. They all played their part and did it well. I recommend this to anyone who enjoys booming beats and great lyrics. With the exception of one song, I very much dug this record, 7 out of 10.
Oh, we're very close on this one, too, I guess. 3 songs that really stood out to me out of 5. Like Corbin said, I wish it was a little longer. These guys are hood, and they want you guys to know it, and I like that about them. The bars are on point for the most part of this album. The insults are real, and it's made very obvious that they don't care who they call out, which is always awesome. I love me some good rapper beef. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the aggressive hood shit. I enjoyed the beats. I enjoyed the bars. 3 out of 5 songs, not that bad. I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10.
So we both pretty much like this. Wish it was longer.
Wish all these albums were longer, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a short week. All right. Album number 3. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to. I just don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I want to say Diop.
Diop, maybe?
Diop. I'm going to go with Diop.
Diop.
Yeah. His album, Still Shinin'. Diop is a hip-hop artist out of Indianapolis, Indiana. The first time I actually heard of this artist was with another fellow Indiana rapper, Willis, who I heavily mess with because his music is great. But the song I heard Diop on for the first time was called Easy on Willis's album Soul Shoes. Fantastic album, by the way. But I remember really liking Diop's presence on that track. So I was very interested in hearing a solo effort by this guy. This was also entirely produced by Diop, if I'm not mistaken. So that was pretty great. But with that, here we go with Still Shinin'. Brennan, give the deets.
All right, like Gordon said, this is Diop's album, Still Shinin'. It came out on October 9th. It's a little older. Surprisingly, this is the longest album that we are reviewing this week. At a runtime of 30 minutes, there's 9 songs to this. No intros, no outros, just straight 9 songs.
Straight tracks, yo. All right, track number 1, Gold Wrist. Go ahead, Brennan.
It's a head bumper. Interesting start. It's a bumpy beat. Lyrics are good, but become repetitive in tone. What I mean by that is it just kind of sounds like not really changing the pitch or anything. It just sounds the same throughout. Not necessarily a bad thing, but not always a good thing. Sounds like he is saying the same thing, but he's not. So, basically what I just covered again. It was good, but it was short. I give it a 7 out of 10.
All right. Gold Wrist. A lot of reverse samples create a backdrop here. I thought the drum beat was cool. Some nicely pounding bass, and Diop sounded good on his own instrumental. The mixing was nice as well, but I can't say I was feeling the beat or the lyrics on this one. The chorus was definitely not for me. Very short-lived as well. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 10.
Wow. Alrighty then. Well, the next track...
Let me just preface that with, that's the only one I didn't really care for.
Really? All right, then I can already tell you that we disagree on this one. Because the next one is I. Yeah. So, took about 30 seconds to start, but after that point, it...
Oh, yeah, you're not a fan of long intros.
No, I'm not. I'm really
not. By the
not.
way, I take that to heart when I'm creating music, and I make sure that my intros aren't too long. just because you mentioned that one time.
I really don't like when songs take... Well, here's my thing. Is a song, I believe, is 3 minutes and 14 seconds long, and it took 30 seconds to get started.
Yeah.
So, subtract 30 seconds from 3 minutes and 14 seconds, and that's the rest of the song, not including the chorus, which is just repeating itself. So, it's less lyric time, less rap time, which I want to hear more of from this guy, because he's actually really good at it. Because after the 30-second mark, it starts off, and it's a great start. Simple rhymes with, like, single rhyme schemes. Very nice. The I is repetitive for a 3 minute and 14 second long song, and I felt more than half of it was the I just repeated on it, which is kind of a bummer. Like I already said, I don't like repetitive stuff. I don't like long intros. So I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear the story. I want to hear the message. I want to hear the rapping. So with that being said, it was an interesting end and a good message. But like I already said, I would have liked more because he's really great with wordplay. But there wasn't much there once you subtracted the I portion out of this 3-minute song. So I give it a 5 out of 10.
I absolutely love the lush production on this one. A pounding bass, great background drum work with a simple hi-hat tap carried throughout. This is definitely the instrumental I'm a fan of. The sample work was great as well. There's also a synth introduced on the second chorus that is very welcomed. Now here's where we differ, Brennan. The repetitive chorus sits well with me. It's almost like a breathing moment, and I enjoyed it. The lyrics were meaningful throughout the verses. I especially like the lines, "We think free, so we all thugs. They don't want us in the position to win. This God-given, yeah, we tapped in." I thought this was actually a pretty great track. Some good wisdom on the end of this one, too. 7.5 out of 10. All right, track 3, Still Fine. You want to go first? You want me to go? Take over.
I'll go. I like it. It's got a smooth beat. It's got old school vibe to it, I felt. The raps were great because the lyrics were great. Good message overall. I like the line when he says, "When I lost my mind, I was still fine. When I lost my shine, I was still fine." Again, It gets repetitive, but for this one, I didn't mind it because I like the message and it's relatable. It's a great line. Another one that I took away from this was "Drink it away, or take it away, or take me away. I'm just talking, I have a reason to stay." Love that line. Very meaningful. You could really hear the passion when he was saying it. Great song overall. Great beat. I give this one an 8 out of 10.
All right, track 3. At this point, I finally realized who Diop reminds me of voice-wise. And he reminds me of the artist The Joker. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah,
His voice reminds me, he has the same like style and flow. Love the filtered covered intro. Really disguises the very creative instrumental. Diop does a great job here. From the drum beat to the horn work, even if they're samples, they sounded great. I really like the lyrics on here. Diop floated over the beat nicely and delivers a smooth track with a good, sad message. I especially like the lines, "Playing rhythm roulette with Mandog and Willis," referring to the great Mass Appeal show where producers build an instrumental based around randomly picked samples. It's great, but also he's referring to building instrumentals alongside his peers. Love the introspective take on this one, 8 out of 10.
Same score?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Track 4, Keep Moving, featuring Baby Ebony and Willis. Brennan, take it away.
It took 43 seconds to do something different, which you already know is repetitive to me, so you already know how I feel about that. There wasn't much rap, but when there was, it was phenomenal. Willis's part was great, of course, but it might be because I'm biased and I really enjoy his work. Baby Ebony was alright on this as well. Kind of wish I would have heard a little bit more out of him, so I could give him a more fair analysis. I want more than just the chorus. I felt like that was just played way too much in the song, and I wish I could give it more, but there wasn't a lot to this song for me, sadly. I really enjoyed it when it wasn't just the chorus and not the long ass startup time, so I had to give this one a 6 out of 10.
Keep moving. Yeah, I agree with the Baby Ebony, what you were saying about him. I love the buried sample that created the concept for this track. The track sounded gritty, and I love when everything's stripped away except for the sample, the snare, and the bass. Makes for great moments in the track and varies the production up a bit. If I had a complaint here, I don't think all the drum parts hit as great as others, falling kind of flat in areas. And I definitely heard some clipping in the track, it's easy to miss, so it's not much of a detriment in my opinion. I produced music too, so I understand that stuff. As far as the lyrics, like Brennan said, when there was rapping, I loved them. Loved every bit, and Willis definitely killed his portion. I like the interchanging happening during the verses. Very great track here. Introspective as well. 8 out of 10. And that leads us into track 5, Checking My Aura.
All right, once again, it's 35 seconds to repeat the chorus.
You're really stuck on that, huh?
I'm really stuck on this, guys. I love when you just dive in, but when he dives in, he actually doesn't do as well as the other songs, unfortunately. The lyrics weren't great on this one for me. Second verse is way much better than the first one. I like the second one. The beat was nice with the hum and the background and a good use of the drums and brass. I wanted the end to resemble the rest of the song, but unfortunately the first half was not as great as the second half, and once again I have to give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, it looks like we were kind of on the same page for this one. The horn sounded pretty great, especially with the periodic bass patterns. The bass switch from the chorus to the verses was nice, but I didn't care for the chorus. It just wasn't for me. The verses were where my attention was at mostly, and the verses are lyrically great. Good track, short-lived though, like Brennan said, 6.5 out of 10.
Good. Great. Moving on.
Good, great. Back it, tag it.
Wicked With It.
Wicked With It.
Which one is this? 7?
This is track 6. Wicked With It, track 6.
Track 6. Wicked With It. Like the brass on the beat. The lyrics are pretty good too. Some basic rhymes though. Basically about the come up and it being the time for the come up and to go through with it. I like this one for the beat mostly. The lyrics weren't that bad, but they also weren't that great. But it was better than the previous 2 songs, so I give it a 7 out of 10.
Alright, this is some classic rap sounding production from jazzy horn samples led to a single snare tap to help build a foundation. The drum beat is nice on here. The flow is great over the instrumental. Diop is definitely a good writer, at least in my opinion. The single verse approach on this track was a nice idea, but makes this short-lived. The lead out on this instrumental was pretty good, but I'm at a 7.5 out of 10. And then that leads us into track 7. Oh, yeah, featuring Kid.
I feel like this one was a prime example of why you don't judge a book by its cover. Based off the title, I thought it would be a repetitive song like the ones previous to this one, but it's not. The lyrics are great, and I get a mellow vibe from this song. Definitely a headbanger. I did not like Kid's verse, to be totally honest. Preferred if he wasn't on this one. Kind of took away from Diop's verses, which was kind of disappointing. But Diop killed it on this one, I felt. Not much replay value to me, though. It's just a preference. I give this one a 6 out of 10 as well.
The instrumental was nice. Diop is he's really proven to me that his sample work is pretty decent. It's really good. Good mixing as well, but instrumentally, though I just complimented it, this one is just I can see him doing something good, but sonically I just wasn't messing with it very much. The verses are just talking that talk, some creative writing, like the lines, "I'm never gonna park it, infinite ink in my cartridge." Thought that was pretty cool. The chorus, though, again, wasn't lyrically feeling it. And Kid came on for the second verse, and like Brennan said, he was just all right with me. Sounded good, but I'm at a 6.5 out of 10.
Moving on, By Now. This is 8, I believe. Track 8.
Track 8.
It starts off by talking about flexing. So, if you guessed it, it's a flex song. The lines, "Sometimes you'll feel lonely when in your own lane, but don't forget your purpose. It's what helped me stay sane." Thought that was pretty clever. Really dug that one. It was a great line. But for me, not much replay value here again. Little disappointing. If it came on, I wouldn't skip it, but not a lot to go off of for me. I give it a 6 out of 10 again.
I love how the drum beat starts with some filtered thumps before it hits you in the face. Great bass line and drum patterns. The twinkling chime-sounding instruments and the lingering samples are nicely panned opposites in the mix. I dug the instrumental very much. The lyrics on the verses are great as well. The chorus is a little repetitive, to be honest, but it sounded decent as a whole 7 out of 10. And then that leads us into our final song, track 9, "I Admit," featuring Allison Victoria, Baby Ebony, and my favorite artist, Willis.
I Admit. This is the last track on this album, and I have to say I really liked it. The startup is good and slow, and it's a long song, though, with a runtime of 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Almost 6 minutes, cutting it close. And for me, I'll be totally honest with you, Corbin, I thought the chorus was annoying. I almost said cannoli.
The holy cannoli was just god-awful.
But the artist Save It, all the featured, I enjoyed on this. Willis, of course, killed his verse. Sounded like something off of his last album, which I really appreciate. Basically, he is saying that he has a family and there is a purpose to stay alive. So, like, if you're ever feeling alone, just know that you're not alone, because even your friends can sometimes be more family than actual blood.
For real.
And that's basically the point across here. Allison Victoria, wonderful on this track with a gorgeous
100%.
voice. Definitely going to be checking out some of her work. Really dug it. She fit in perfectly, in my opinion. By far my favorite song on this album. And was Baby Ebony on this?
Yep.
He was on the chorus, right?
Nope.
No? He
was the first verse. And I was going to talk on this during the during my portion, but yeah, Diop doesn't have a verse on here. He just does the chorus.
Thought the chorus was annoying, but by far my favorite song on this album. I give it a 9 out of 10, only because the chorus played way too many times.
All right. Well, I'm just kidding, no. All right, here we are, the final song, and my absolute favorite production-wise. The sample is mixed perfectly, and the drums used fit the style so well, and the chords and guitar work are fantastic. Even dug the drum breaks and drum builds. The female harmony vocals lingering in the background sound great as well. And Baby Ebony starts off this very meaningful song. His verse was great. But the one who definitely stole the show, can you guess, Brennan?
It's Willis.
Yeah, it was definitely Willis. This guy lyrically impresses me every time I hear him. And his verse incorporated some singing style rapping that I mess with heavily. He is discussing some heavy topics, and I appreciate every word that he said. Allison sounded fantastic at the end with a singing verse and tied the whole song together. I was disappointed to not get a Diop verse, just a chorus from him, which I will say I didn't really think fit this song.
Yeah.
I didn't think the chorus really fit the song. And like Brennan said, it was pretty repetitive, and I was just kind of on that. But besides that, the three great verses, and the fantastic production, This was my favorite song on this whole entire thing, and a rather perfect ending in my opinion, and I'm at a 9.5 out of 10. I've revisited this song many times.
Yep, it was my favorite as well. But overall, Corbin, I'm going to give you my summary on this one. I felt that the album was good, but cut short. Some good rhymes and some lazy ones, but the producing on this was the major key to it, which kept me interested throughout. Beats were phenomenal. The brass was amazing. I don't think there was one beat that I didn't really care for, so that was awesome. Overall, it was not a bad album. I enjoyed the beats, like I already said. The lyrics were nice when it wasn't a repeating chorus. And I got a good story out of this piece. I gave this, in total, a 7 out of 10.
My overall opinion, I thought this was a decent project. I like a lot more than what I disliked, and resulted in a competent record that showcases that Diop can produce some great instrumentals that he can use to create good songs, you know? There's good messages found all over this thing, good wisdom pieces too, and I'd recommend this to someone looking for some new independent hip-hop. Besides one song, which ironically is the very first song, I like the production on pretty much everything. There were certain aspects I didn't really care for, but it is what it is. But for the entire album, I'm at a 7.5 out of 10.
All right, so we're pretty close on all the albums.
Yeah, this is a good week.
It was a good week, and the best part about this is you can't have any excuses about not listening to any of these because they're super short.
Very true. So with all that being said, definitely listen to these albums.
Great week for albums.
Yeah, just give them a listen, damn it.
But let's see how the singles hold up, Corbin.
Yep, singles. We're on to the single portion. We just go single by single.
We're going to start off with Sia. Her single is titled I'm Still Here. Came out on October 12th, and it has a runtime of 4 minutes.
Really? I didn't think it was that long. Okay, so Sia, I'm Still Here. This is my review. The low setting strings sound nice at the beginning. I wish they continued through with the drum beat instead of fading off. The piano definitely builds a nice atmosphere against the drum beat. I'm a fan of the production. Now, Sia is really saying something here. The chorus is basically portraying a battle between her and her past, how it has haunted her, tormented her, and wanted her, dead. But the past lost because she's still here. The whole reason for the song. I actually love the lyrics, to be honest, and especially on the bright and explosive chorus. I loved that part. I thought the vocal layering was nice. Her voice sounded crisp and gritty, fit the production well. I thought this was a great song. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, see, I love Sia, and
Same.
I think that she has a beautiful voice, and I think that she proves it time after time after time again.
I agree.
But this definitely sounds like a Sia song, and I enjoy that. The battle was lost, but I'm still here is a great inspirational message. And basically, like Corbin said, she talks about essentially fighting her ego and winning for herself, because that's why she's fighting this for herself, battling her past, basically. I like it for a single, but I hope to hear something different on the album.
A little more experimental is what you're saying?
Yeah, I like it as a single, but I hope to hear something different from the album, because like I said, this is definitely a Sia song, and it sounds like a Sia song. Not that that's a bad thing, but I would definitely like a little variation in this. I give this a 9 out of 10.
Dang. 9 out of 10. Single number 2, Mick Jenkins, Understood. There's such a swelling sample at the beginning that sounded nice, and there's such a resemblance to old 90s production on this record. It sounded dirty, and I liked it. As soon as the production gets repetitive, a bass line gets involved and keeps my head knocking. The filter put over the entire track was a weird outro, but I kind of dug it. Wasn't feeling the chorus, but the verses are nice, good imagery, and good rhymes. I dug that aspect. I like the unique fading finish to each verse, but sadly not enough for much replayability in my opinion. 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah. This song is Mick Jenkins is the artist on this one. The song's titled Understood. It is a single. It came out October 12th, and it is a runtime of 3 minutes. Start off, I don't know how I feel about the beat. It's definitely interesting. It's a head bobber. Sounds tired when he raps, though, the chorus, at least. I don't know if you got that vibe from him.
Yeah, like cadence-wise, he sounded tired.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I could see that.
I love the line, message is Everclear. If you don't understand that, Everclear is like a very strong alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
So it's a nice play on words there. It was an alright song. Not skippable, but not something I would come to on my own. So I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Dang, that's still pretty good, though.
Yeah, the beat was definitely weird, though.
Yeah.
Not like that was a bad thing, but like I kind of got like a grunge rap type vibe.
How did you feel about the fade finish to each verse?
It was an interesting choice. It was very recognizable unless you were listening for it. Like I said, like when we review it, it's obvious to us because we're reviewing it and we're looking for this stuff. But like if you're just listening to listen to it, you're not going to catch on.
Yeah. All right. Track 3. AWOLNATION. AWOLNATION, Table for One, featuring
Good luck with that, buddy.
Elohim.
Elohim.
Give us the stats, Brennan.
All right. Like you said, this is AWOLNATION featuring Elohim. The song is titled Table for One. It's a single. It came out on October 12th and has a runtime of 4 minutes.
All right. AWOLNATION. Table for One. The muddled guitars and finger snaps do fit the overly mixed vocals, and I don't mean overly mixed as a bad thing. I simply mean there's a lot of effects added. And I actually like how subtle the intro was. The male and female duality drives the song into an explosive chorus. The I don't want you to leave line brings in that gorgeous and powerful guitar perfectly. I love the painting work done here. I loved all of the guitar work on here. The production was minimal and it really needed to be. I really dug the lead out with the beat stripped away and bells at the end of the song. The lyrics sounded really great and I hope to see this on the radio, just, not that often. 7.5 out of 10.
I actually like this song. They go together very well. I don't know who this chick is, but I think she's very talented. I get a Young the Giant vibe from it, and I like it. It's a love song about not wanting his partner to leave, but how he ends up sitting alone at a table for one. So, good voices, good beat. I actually really enjoyed this song and would come back and listen to it on my own. I actually enjoy AWOLNATION, so not a big shock here when I say I give it a 9 out of 10.
Especially that Brother song. Fantastic song. All right. That's a pretty good scores for us. Single number 4, Jez Dior, featuring Jackson Guthy. Brennan. Oh, this one's called Nobody Knows, too. Brennan, give us the deets and then go ahead and give us your review.
All right, so like Corbin said, this is Jez Dior featuring Jackson Guthy, is it?
Yep.
The title of this single is Nobody Knows. It came out on October 12th, and it has a runtime of 3 minutes. And, alright, listen, Jezzy, he's my boy. But you know how I feel about songs about nothing but sex. So that's basically what this song is. Jackson Guthy definitely steals the show on this one. I will say that Jez's lyrics are clever at some points, but overall, he has the same message in every single verse. Not very creative. A little disappointed on his end because I love his music. I love what he makes. Yeah, so I feel like Jez kind of was slacking lyric-wise. He has some clever quippets here and there. But overall, I think the line, thinking about your pussy while I'm with my dog, was very weird.
Oh my God, I actually had that down too.
Especially the fact that there's a dog bark in it. I don't know, that was just a little strange there, Jez. So I really want to like this song. I really do. It's catchy, but I can't and I'm sad to say, but I wouldn't revisit this one on my own. Not skippable though, but definitely not my favorite from one of my favorite artists. So I gave it a 6.5 out of 10, and I'm disappointed to say that.
All right, let's be honest. Or let me be honest. This track is not what I think it was gonna be by the name of the song. I was hoping for some deep shit, Jezzy. I wanted some deepness. All right.
Wait till you get to the next two songs then.
I love Jez. All right.
I know, right? It was just disappointing.
Brennan is actually the person who introduced Jez Dior to me, and I'm usually the one who introduces him to stuff, so that's a flip. I thought his last EP was incredible, to be honest. I loved it a lot, but what the fuck? The piano-filled intro sounded really good, especially with that great chorus by Jackson. I loved his chorus. The synthesized beat sounded alright, but I was not feeling these verses at all. There's that line that you discussed, and there's another line where he said, "I'm introverted, but I'm into you," and I was like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, he also has a line like something like, "You're yawning, that's a place for me," or something like that. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so, yeah, this song
It's a
is...
sex song.
It's nothing special. But with that being said, I'm definitely looking forward to what's next. But for this one, man, this is like a... if it wasn't for the chorus, it'd be way lower. But because I love the chorus, it's a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, no, Jackson definitely stole that one.
All right, Brennan, track 5, Double Lyrical Space is the title of the song, Space. I need you to do the review for this one first.
All right, I already know Corbin's not a big fan of this, but this is one I recommended. It's an older one. It's by Double Lyrical, titled Space. It came out on September 26th, and it has a runtime of 4 minutes. It starts off with some good lyrics and a lady with a gorgeous voice. Right off the bat, I love this song because I can relate to it. This song reminds me of a past relationship, and I like this more than I like Fora's same titled song, Space. It definitely took me back to the dark place I once was, and it was very captured in the artist's way of speaking and the beat of the piano, and basically just a sadness in his tone of voice when he speaks the lyrics, and you just hear it in him, and he's angry, he's hurt, and he's tired of giving it their all. This song is relatable for me, and it was kind of hard to listen to the first time I listened to it, to be totally honest. So I gave it a 9 out of 10.
All right, so I appreciate that you found relatability in this. If anything, the song is very relatable. But let me get into my point of view, I guess. So this is a recognizable beat. This is a beat made by producers Syndrome and Jariv, two producers I've actually worked with. The reverse chords and stuff was really unique, especially as a backdrop. Strings are always welcomed, and I thought their placement, though short, was nice. The chorus sang by Alex Marie Brinkley. That's the girl singing. She's actually been featured on a song of mine as well. Feels buried on this one. It's apparent, but it's almost purposely distant, and I really like that. My problems with this record lie in the mixing and the mastering. The vocals sounded very dry and almost like they were compressed and minimally EQ'd and that was it. Maybe it's a cheap mic they're using. I don't know. It was just really not for me. The first 2 verses I wasn't feeling all the way through. I could sense the emotion and sincerity in his voice. But the shoddy and kind of offbeat way of presenting the words was kind of turning me off of the song. The words were deep and obviously emotional, don't get me wrong, but they were just okay. Basic rhyming throughout. The flow on the last 2 verses were definitely the best and had my attention. I wish it was that way throughout. The way the diction was kind of off had me off put as well. I didn't understand every single word, and it honestly could have been solved if they just sounded the words out fully. But as a whole, I thought this was all right. 5 out of 10.
Who's all right? 5 out of 10. That's what you sound like. All right.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not saying it needs to be perfect, but I need a little bit of an improvement.
No, I definitely feel that. And the only reason I gave it such a high score was because it took me back to that place. And not a lot of songs can do that for me. But Jesus Christ, speaking of relatable songs, moving on to Need Someone by the artist Ollie. This came out
Single number 6.
Single number 6. This came out on October 11th, and it has a runtime of 3 minutes. And I don't know, man. You want to go first on this one?
Sure. I love the touch of realism on this one, especially with the voicemail intro. The beat is simplistic, but it flowed very well. The song is a brief experience, and I dug it. The sample, the acoustic guitar, the drum beat, and underflowing bass provided the right foundation for the emotic feel for this one. And I thought the lyrics were great. Kind of simple rhyming, but I don't need something intricate every time I listen to a record. And I thought this was a pretty great song, to be honest. 7 out of 10.
You give it a 7? Disappointed. We'll give this the most disappointed Corbin review of the week here.
Damn.
Because go ahead and add that into the video.
Nope, cutting it. Oh yeah, I do the editing. I guess I'll make myself sound better.
Speaking of relatable songs, we just touched base on Space. This song is so great. I love it from the intro with the voicemail, like Corbin said. And then just overall, it very much reminds me of my last fling or whatever that was.
Yup.
Yeah, these lyrics are deep, and I keep this song on repeat, to be totally honest. I listen to this song, like, I want to say at least 10 times a day. This is definitely one of the songs I'm going to play until I can't listen to it anymore. I really like it. I'm a huge Ollie fan to begin with. So it very much takes me to the point in my life where I felt very much alone and dove into my work in order to fill the void and stop feeling that aloneness, and basically worked myself back up to where I am now, which is a great position. But at that point, it was awful and it was really rough, and I literally feel like I was there. Like, I feel like Ollie made this song for me. So for that one moment, I honestly wish that this would have came out then, because I very much would have felt like I wasn't the only one. But, you know, that's just the power of music right there for you. So, hands down, my favorite song of the week goes to this one, and I gave this one, in my opinion, a very well-deserved 10 out of 10.
That relatability will get you anytime. And I wrote this review the day it came out, so I can honestly say I have gone back and listened to this quite a bit. So I might bump it up. I might give it a little 8 out of 10.
There we go. Minus the worst review of Gordon of the week.
That part was cut.
Great. All right, guys. That should wrap it up for this week. If you're still listening, we greatly appreciate you guys.
Yeah, this was meant to be a shorter review.
It definitely is compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
But,
especially with all the cutting I'll have to do.
You guys want to hear this song? Corbin's going to put a link of the playlist down below in the description box. So you guys can go ahead and listen to it and give us your feedback in the comment section below. And let's talk music. You know, we don't have that many comments. We'd really much appreciate to get your guys' side of the story. What do you guys like? What do you guys not like? What do you guys want us to review in the future?
I would definitely love to talk about music. And if you disagreed with anything that we said, I mean, let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk.
And if you agreed with anything, let's branch off of that.
If you guys caught something that we missed, make sure to let us know. Or anyway, my name's Brennan Montry.
And my name is Brennan Montry.
That's
so
the end
corny.
of this.
That was a corny ending. And we're keeping it. All right.
That's the end of the podcast. Thank you guys. Corbin, play that outro.
Thank you guys for listening. Always appreciate it. But yeah, that's episode 4. See you guys later.